today, unfortunately with the short races, there's no competition caution for this race. So it's very important to get a good start, get through traffic fast. No messing around. Green flag, and Hunter Tingley is out front right away.
Yeah, Hunter Tingley, one of the younger competitors in this class. Joined the group a few years ago. We've watched him consistently get faster year over year as him and his dad Sean put in a lot of hard work. Corey Fisher's taken the right-hand lane through the split lane, so there's your battle for the lead early on between the 103 of Fisher and the 170 of Tingley. It looks like Fisher able to wrestle the lead away, so Fisher will take control of this field now.
Yeah, it looks like 3 wide, far back in the field.
29 racers in this one, Tyler, a pretty popular class here.
Yeah, definitely. This is a very affordable class to run. As we mentioned yesterday, a lot of stock Volkswagen components, transmissions, you can't even change the gearing in it. So, you know, tire size may play a factor, but very competitive class.
Back out front, we're looking at the 103. That's Corey Fisher from St. John's, Michigan. He is starting to stretch this interval over Tingley as they come to the stripe for the first time. Patnode is third. Billy Booth is fourth. Delory having a good run up there in the top 5 as well.
Yeah, second place looks to be where the battle is right now, between Tingley, Patnode, and Booth.
Yeah, you see it there on your screen. Booth going to the right-hand side of the split lane. See if he can make that work. Looks like he is able to pull ahead of both of them, actually. So Billy Booth gets the 2-for-1 pass there. He's up into second and will set his sights on your leader, Corey Fisher.
Booth finished up second yesterday and looking to do it again, maybe get up front a little earlier. What has he got? He's got anything special in that car?
They never reveal their secrets. No, he's got a good car, spends lots of time making that work. Mike Brewer had built that chassis for him a couple seasons ago, and he's been a fast front runner. Looks like we got Kai Graff up against the wall. Heavy right front suspension damage on that car.
Here's a replay of it. Walk us through this one.
Yeah, it looks like Graff just pushed out wide, caught the berm, and unfortunately broke some linkage there on the right front. We'll see if they're able to stay green flag racing other than a local yellow. Looks like he's struggling to get out of that dirt bank, but taking a look once again at one of our battles up front. Tingley is holding off Patnode now. That would be your battle for third on the race course, as we will go to a full course yellow.
Yeah, that's not what Corey Fisher wanted to see running out front. He had a pretty good lead. But that's everything everybody behind him wanted to see.
Yeah, and about a 2-second lead there, 2.2 second lead before this. There's Graff up against the wall. And look at that right front wheel is pretty much perpendicular with the car, so he's going to be out of this one. They're hooked up to him already. They'll get him off the track, and then we'll get restarted here. This is our 1600 light buggy presented by All-Star Performance here at Dirt City Motorplex. This is part of the Championship Off-Road Series. Thank you all for logging in, and the crowd that came out today. Although we are social distancing, the day has turned out beautiful, Shane. We had a lot of rain last night and even more this morning. The track was a mess. Like you said, we were even wondering if we were going to race, and now the track looks pretty good, very raceable.
It really turned into what I think are ideal racing conditions, and you touched on that. We were looking at the track earlier, and Tyler, you were up here hanging out trying to stay out of the rain as well. Talk a little bit about how this track has worn in that you've seen over the day.
Well, earlier in the day, I saw some cars heading down to staging, and they had changed their setup quite a bit to deal with the mud. And once the rain let up, we saw a bunch of guys thrashing to get the car set up back for a dry track. So it looks like most guys are all set with that. It doesn't happen often, but when this class races after the pro trucks, it's probably one of the best tracks we ever see. The trucks pack down the mud real well, push all the mud out of the way, and it always makes for a really wide multiple groove race lane, and it's real good for passing. And if you're starting in the back, that you can't ask for anything better.
Yeah, and you also mentioned having a lane choice. A lot of this class is about carrying your momentum and being very precise with your line choice, and that is really one of the keys to running up front.
Yeah, definitely. I've been watching the split lane so far this race, and it looks a pretty even split between cars. A lot of cars going on either side. I've seen a couple cars change up their line. I don't see a lane that's faster yet, though.
Well, we're going to get back to racing here very shortly as the lead pace truck leads Corey Fisher and Billy Booth here in our All-Star Performance 1600 light buggy race. We'll get going here momentarily. So it's Fisher, Booth, Tingley, Patnout, Marquardt, and DeLowry. Your top 6 in this one. Anyone you're keeping an eye on at the start here?
I got my eye on Hunter Tingley sitting in 3rd place. Yesterday he had a transmission issue, and I had my spare tranny along and put that in his car last night. So my vote's for Hunter Tingley.
All right, we're back to green flag racing. And Fisher's been looking good out front. Was pulling away from the field in the first half of this race, or before that caution, I should say. We'll find out right now as Tyler, you called it. It's about an even split. Guys going left or right in the split lanes. Booth is going to be on the inside of Fisher as he charges down into turn number 2. Still side by side.
Fisher might have the momentum on the outside.
Yeah, Fisher pushed just a little bit too wide, so Billy Booth will take over your race lead here in light buggy.
I
think Booth actually surprised him. Oh, he gets on 2.
You know that announcer's jinx. We got him.
I think Booth surprised Fisher there as I saw him. He was taking the right and he kind of overcorrected there. So here's Billy Booth, the leader, Fisher 2nd, and at 122, Marquardt up to 3rd.
Yeah, very quietly, he's been on the charge. He started all the way back in the 11th spot and was your points leader coming into this race. In trouble again, that's Julia Keith, the 131. Wasn't able to, that's in turn 3 that she has pulled off, so we will see, we're seeing a local yellow down on the inside of turn 1, at least for the moment.
And it looks like the top 3 or 4 cars are kind of pulling away from the rest of the pack a little bit, so I think they kind of found some lines around some of the corners here that the other guys haven't found yet.
And unfortunately, we have another full course yellow. We had Tingley's car. We saw him go up on the bike earlier, and he sort of made the save, but ended up parked up against the wall, and then Keat was also pulled off as well, just outside the race line. So we'll slow down this whole field and get the track cleared and back to green flag racing.
Yeah, the safety truck already out there and already towing her off the side of the track, so this should be a little bit quicker, but make sure all the competitors are safe, and we'll group them back up and get them going again here. So this is our 1600 light buggy All-Star Performance presents. We are at Dirt City Motorplex, Lena, Wisconsin, part of the Championship Off-Road Series. Make sure to check out our socials at Champ Off-Road. And also our YouTube channel. Have a whole bunch of videos, podcasts, all sorts of stuff on our YouTube channel there as well. So there's
a lot of content coming out all the time across all the social channels that Champ Off-Road has to offer. Our social media team busy all the time.
Yeah, a lot of these sportsman teams do have social media stuff as well. There's a lot of guys that run onboard cameras and put cool cameras in spots on their car, and they'll be posting it throughout the week following a race. So check out some of their pages too, and show them some support.
It's like we had a 3rd car in some trouble as well. That's the 188 of Trent Hansen.
Slippery on the outside or pushing into the wall there?
Yeah, it's probably got a little moisture out there yet.
What tires these guys running?
I got nothing.
Well, I mean, did they switch back to the non-mud? I mean, most of these guys were thinking mud tires earlier today, and then they go back to their traditional tires is what I meant.
Yeah, those don't look too grooved up.
Correct.
So they probably went with a tire that would handle a dry track better than the wet track.
Yeah, tire choice in this class is kind of interesting because some guys will run off-the-shelf winter tires.
Yeah, that's
that
correct.
Hook up a little bit on the hard pack surface.
Yeah, kind of going back to what I said earlier, we have to run one set of gearing across all the cars. So we can't change gearing and run a crazy tire size. You know, there's really only 1 or 2, maybe 3 different tire sizes that you can run. So it really boils down to finding the best tire tread that works with your car setup, with the shocks and springs that you run. But all these tires, you can go right to your local parts store and buy right off the shelf.
All right, looks like we're going to get them back underway. Billy Booth, your leader, the 151 out of Helensville, Wisconsin. The Mud Muncher Motorized Tear-Offs Alternative Machine Tool leading this one. Lucas Oil helping him out as well. Fisher in second.
Tyson Marquardt, the local favorite, running in third. Pat Note fourth. Delory having another good run today. He had a good run early yesterday and then found some trouble later on in the race, but he is up in the top 5. And then Stingle, former class champion, in 6th. Both of the Schultz boys in 7th and 8th. Roloff is 9th, and Kayenberg, another rookie in this class, also running up in the top 10.
Let's see if Corey gets the early jump or if he waits.
So it looks like the green flag is out. They're also waving the white one here.
Yeah, one lap to go. Fisher's going to look to the outside immediately on Booth as they go down to turn number 1.
This is
Marquardt in the mix as well.
Everything's all on the line.
Marquardt trying the left-hand lane through the split lane.
Looks like everybody's going on the right lane this lap.
Yeah, a lot of them definitely are. So it's Booth out front. 103 pushing.
Marquardt with that outside run. Marquardt is now up into second with half a lap to go.
Can he make a move?
All over the back bumper of Billy Booth as they go out onto the backstretch.
Fisher in third there. Can Booth make a move into the lead?
One last time, they'll head for turn number 5 down into the gully, as we've been calling it all weekend. Marquardt looks to the inside. Booth just did a great job of holding the inside line. Checkered flag is in hand at the Champ Off-Road finish line. Billy Booth will barely hold on for the win over Marquardt. Good run for Fisher coming across the line third.
I believe that is Corey Fisher's first podium in his off-road career. Looks like Kyle Patnod is in the 4th position, Greg Stingle in 5th.
Yeah, Stingle was outside the inversion when we started. He started in the 17th spot, so making a lot of moves in that one. In a race that I believe was shortened by a couple laps with those yellow flags. Again, we're also running up against a time limit for each race that we're trying to make sure every class that's here can make it onto the race course before this next band of storms comes through.
Well, here's your official results in 1600 light buggy. Booth takes the win. Marquardt second. Fisher